Good morning, everybody. We are just waiting for a little bit more for others to, many people are joining right now. So we'll give them a minute and then we'll start. Shall we start, Ambika? Good. Good morning, everybody. It's a great pleasure to have you all here today on a Saturday morning. And this program, I'll give a brief overview about. But before that, two quick housekeeping points. One, there will be time for questions and answers after our presentation. So please pose your questions either during the talks or after on the chat box. And after the talks, please raise your hand so that we can then listen to you and then give you feedback. So those are the immediate points. Before we start, I'd like to introduce my colleagues. We have here Dr. Gaurav Bhatnagar. He's a faculty member at Ashoka. He teaches mathematics and he's an excellent teacher for introductory mathematics courses. And importantly, he's also had experience of such programs personally in the US and has a deep understanding of such programs. And the program itself, I'll explain a little more. I'd also like to introduce Dr. Anupama Ambika Anandkumar. She's a PhD in cell biology with a strong quantitative background, so combines the beauty of sciences, microscopy, with also the ability to analyze this and handle big data over there. And she's joined Ashoka recently to lead this program, and she and Gaurav will be there fully during the program, as I will also be. I'm Vijay Raghvan. I'm now a professor at the National Center for Biological Sciences at the Tata Institute of Fundamental Research. And before that, I had spent some time in the Government of India as Secretary, Department of Biotechnology, and more recently as Principal Scientific Advisor to the Government of India. In all of these roles, and all of us in other roles, I've been very, very keen and interested in trying to stimulate the excitement and opportunities of science to our schools to can see what kinds of science paths they would like to take in mathematics and computer science and physics and chemistry, the life sciences and data sciences. And these are all very exciting areas given the tremendous demands on scientific training, no matter what you do, whether you do economics or politics or sociology, science and the ability to understand it is very, very important. So this program, which we'll be talking about today, have three components. I'll give a very brief overview for just a few minutes. And then Ambika will give a presentation with using slides about the details of the program. And then Gaurav Bhatnagar will give us a brief idea about how the mathematics part particularly, but overall how the program will be run on the ground. So let me start saying that this program is supported by the Lodha Group, and it's called the Lodha Genius Programme, and it's hosted at Ashoka University. And very importantly, it's a fully funded program. The travel and stay will be fully funded. Now, this program has got many components, but really it's about having students spend a month on campus, 4 weeks on campus, listening to talks by the topmost scientists in the world and in the country, participating in projects in all of science and mathematics, having problem-solving sessions in mathematics, and also having sessions where they work together and understand how teamwork is critically important. And this will be a mentored program where we have teachers from all over the country and all over the world coming in, and they will interact with students. Students will be in small groups also for the projects, so there'll be direct level of mentoring. Now, what is the purpose of this program? The purpose is to identify every year 100 students from the best places all over the country. And by best, I don't mean schools where only the wealthy go to, but schools where teaching and the quality of interactions with the students throws up opportunity for students, and they can come and participate in this program. So whether you are from a school in a metro city or in a tier 2 city or in a small school, if you have a passion for science, please talk to your school principals and your parents and apply with great speed. So we will identify 100 students this year, and hopefully as the years go on, there will be more. And these students will be from the class 9th, 10th, and 11th. And those from the 12th also who are interested in coming can come. And this will be a residential program for these 100 students along the lines I've just mentioned. There is, of course, a website which has frequently asked questions and answers. There's also, now at this meeting, at this webinar, there'll be a chat box, and we will have perhaps another webinar or two before the program actually starts, so that you'll have ample time to ask your questions both interactively with us and go to the website and take a look. So with that, let me hand over to Dr. Anupama Ambika Anandkumar, and after that, she'll hand over to Gaurav. Thank you.
Thanks, Vijay. Thanks for a very detailed explanation, which is much needed to understand conceptually what this program is about. So to throw some more light based on the FAQs we have received and all the queries we have received online and offline, we have tried to put together a presentation that could by default answer a lot of your queries. But of course, if you still have queries, then we are there to answer that right now. And you can also answer the query, but by writing an email to Lodha Genius Programme at ashoka.edu.in. I will put the link here in the chat box so that you don't miss it. I hope everyone can see my screen right now. Is it okay? Can you give me a thumbs up, Vijay or Gaurav, if it's fine? Okay, thank you. So I'm just going to give you a brief overview of the program, and probably can summarize here what Vijay has explained. That is, the most important thing is that this program is designed for students of class from 9 to 12 standard, and it's a 100% scholarship program. So you just have to have the mind and curiosity to understand maths and science. You don't need anything more, because we will be reimbursing all your travel from your city to the university campus, which is at Ashoka University, Sonipat, and back. And this will, I will discuss with you the costs which are involved here from our side and what we will provide you. So this is a 100% scholarship program. And of course, this would sort of increase your academic rigor and your understanding of maths and science in different ways. And for this, we bring to you access to world-class faculty and infrastructure, which might not be accessible for you at your own high schools or even in many, many universities here in this country. So this will encourage you for your all-round development. It is just not to understand just the data, or it is not just to understand numbers, but it will sort of influence you in a number of ways, even in improving your critical thinking and in your overall development. So, and of course, all the projects and all the talks which are designed throughout for this program will always carry ethical values and will give you first-hand examples of why ethics is important in carrying out research, in carrying out mathematics, in carrying out science in general. So with that, We do have an excellent set of faculty who will be coming, and all the details about this faculty, including their bio, are available on our website, which is www.lodhageniusprogramme.com. So you can see that the amount of effort that's been put to design this program is quite global in nature. And I let Gaurav discuss more about the faculties in detail. And I think this is a very good opportunity where all these people come together for the very first time in India from all over the world to give you this exposure and to give you this platform. So to explain to you how a typical day for a student who's going to be on campus, I mean, all the students have to reside on the campus for the entire 4 weeks. This is very, very important in order to imbibe what we are going to give during the program. So a typical day will start with a 1-hour seminar by a very renowned scientist. It can be a Nobel laureate, can be a very senior scientist who has a lot of experience in doing their research and also communicating with you. So this will be a very good opportunity for the students here to get a very good view of the science that's going around in the world. After this, you will have, of course, a great deal of interactions with the person who's going to give you the seminar. And this is followed by maths problem solving seminars, which will be a 3-hour engagement with Olympiad trainers, which Gaurav will detail in how we are sort of enabling this module. And after that, we have another 3-hour science project. So the science projects are given in diverse areas ranging from microscopy, astronomy, ecology, life sciences, and also science communication. And now the reason for choosing these topics are these are very interdisciplinary in nature. It doesn't segregate all the subjects, like, you know, it's not like you are just going to study biology or chemistry or physics. It's not sectioned that way at all. So here we bring about a lot of critical thinking and also very world-class lab-like experience for you, just the way how it functions in a lab. You will have postdocs, you will have PhD students, you will have your supervisor. So that is an essence of how science is done in the real world. So we have this project for around 3 hours every day. And then we have some sports hour and planned activities after that, which again can relax your mind and at the same time will give you exposure to other things, other co-curricular activities, like, for example, gardening, and also theater performances, how to do workshops, and how to click photographs and things like that, which is quite enjoyable. So we try to bring this diversity to the program so that nobody is bored and you're having fun with science and maths, and fun just being existing together, you know, with your the fellow students, because I think that's very important to have this residential program and not do it online. It will never have the same effect. So that is why we insist that you have to be on campus for this 4 weeks. It might be difficult for a lot of parents. You will have so many apprehensions, and that's why we are here to listen out to you, to hear you out, and also to solve all the questions that you have from our end. So basically, when I say there is a seminar every day for the students, so we try to maybe it's not every day, but we will try to have at least 3 seminars per week in this diverse subjects. So basically, the seminar will help you interact with mathematicians and scientists from all over the world who has so much of experience in science, and they will also sort of interact with students post the seminar also. So that's a good opportunity where you can have a very intimate association with these very eminent scientists and mathematicians, and which is not available. I mean, where can you get 12 eminent people talking to you about world-class science, right? So you will have around 12 seminars, or maybe a little bit more, for over a period of 4 weeks. And then the maths and the science project I was talking to you about. So the maths generally involve the problem solving, and we will make some teams with all the 100 students who will be present on campus. And we have real experts like the Olympiad trainers. I don't have to explain what Olympiad trainers are to this group, but they will be really doing all the problem solving and sort of interacting with the students at a very close level to engage with them and to have fun with maths. And there will be some tough problems which will be given per week, so that your brain is always in the tickling mode. Coming to the science projects. So here, as I said, you will have all the experience of how you do science in a lab. It might be now very different from what you have learned in books. And you will also realize science is not something which is inaccessible. It's not something which is not approachable. It is something which is you can do and carry out in your everyday life. So all our projects are sort of designed in that way. And at the end of your 4 weeks period, we will have a presentation for each group where you will be interacting with a scientific audience, and you will be sort of explaining to them what you have learned in terms of a project. And this is a sort of a training of how in real world science is communicated. It's not just enough that you do good science, you also have to learn to communicate. So that's why we also have a science communicator on board throughout. And and as I said, there'll be 20 projects which will be given for that. So these are the various subject areas that you can see on which you will be trained throughout the course, ranging from astronomy to wildlife conservation to mathematics to ecology. So there are all sort of science disciplines which are available here, which we can enroll. So every student who comes to the course, they will have to do the mathematics problem solving part and also the science projects. And when you see that there is a lot of diversity in terms of science projects, so you don't have to do every project because we don't have enough time. And of course, it's very difficult for the students to sort of imbibe all the different science. But you can choose 2 projects out of all the 20 projects that we offer. And these 2 projects, you will be carrying it out for a period of 4 weeks. And so for this, what do you do? How do you apply? Again, if you go to our website, all these processes are very clearly explained. So basically, we are not like really going to say whether you got 70% marks in your exam or 90% marks. I think the most important quality for a student to come to us a program like this is just the curiosity for maths and basic sciences. That's all we ask for. And of course, we need to make sure that you have a consistent academic record. Which is quite important. This is why we ask you to upload your last 2 years mark sheet. So if you do not have your current mark sheet available with you, or if there is any delay, please go ahead and upload the previous 2 years mark sheets. And other than that, we require a couple more documents, which is written here. One is it's a consent letter from the parent of the student who's going to apply for this program, because it's a 4-week residential program. And it's very important that we know the family is okay sending the child. And of course, it's a very secure campus. We do have a lot of students at Ashoka. All the students in Ashoka actually stay here. So you know that it is extremely safe, and the campus is quite professional in handling such housing facilities. And you would also require a letter of consent and recommendation from the school principal, because I know that some of you have, some of the students will have holidays during this 4 weeks, but some will have classes also. But considering the nature of this program and how important this is for your future, I hope all the school principals would give the consent and recommendation for the students to apply for this program, because I think it's a very prestigious thing for the school itself. So we really hope if there are any principals, teachers who are present during this webinar to kindly accelerate this process and give them the consent and the recommendation. And the third thing is the age requirement. Of course, we are looking at students who are in class 9, 10, 11 or 12 as of May 2023. So you can see whether you fit in this criteria. So the age group can be around 13 to 18 years, but the first point is very important, that you have to be in class 9, 10, 11 or 12 as of May 2023. So these are the eligibility criteria. If you fulfill this, you will be able to submit your forms. And so for this, I'm just putting a flow chart to show how to apply in order to make it a little more clear. So this is, if you review your eligibility criteria, which I just explained, you can fill in the application form. I'm sure that all of you have the link for it. And I'm also going to give the link in the chat box so that you can click on it if you haven't already applied. and upload the relevant documents, that is your mark sheets for the 2 years. That's what is required, and submit the application form. Also for the consent letter and also for the principal's recommendation, you will have to enter the email ID of the parent and also the principal in the application form. There is a column for that. And a separate email will be going to the parent and to the principal. And there are clear instructions to them, and they will be uploading the recommendation letter and the consent letter. So this we have provided them with the templates in those emails. So it's less than 5 minutes for the parent or the principal to do that. So please urge them to do it for you. So once you submit the application and we have received the parent consent letter and the principal recommendation letter, so make sure that you contact them after you submit the application to ask them to submit it as soon as possible. That is what we call a complete application. And once we have the complete application, we will send you the login and password for a test. So there is an aptitude test which is going to happen, and this is not something based on the bookish information. It's based on your logic, so you don't require any preparation for it. We will be having a webinar next Saturday to explain more about this aptitude test. So you'll all have to come back for the webinar to know more about that. Here, we're just sort of alerting you that this test is going to be an online test. So you just need a stable internet connection and a laptop or a phone with a camera to appear for the exam. You can appear for the exam from anywhere in the world. There is absolutely no problem. You don't have to come anywhere. And this will be on the 15th of April. And so after the test, we will be contacting the shortlisted candidates, and the scoring will be based on the test marks, and there is absolutely no preparation needed for this test. So this is sort of the summary slide, which shows the selection criteria. So once you fulfill it and you have reviewed your academic performance, you submit the application and you appear for the test later online when we send you all the details. And then based on the test scores, you will be contacted, and you have to make sure your principal has given you the recommendation letter, and also you have to make sure that the parent has given the consent letter. So these are the things that you have to bear in mind, and these dates are quite important for you to bear in mind as well. Now the applications are open, and it will have a deadline on the April 10th. So please make sure that you have everything in order before that. And the tentative test date, as I said, is on April 15th. And so we will be sending you the confirmation letter by the April 18th. And so we will give you a period for you to confirm that you will be coming, which I hope most of you will be coming, because I think it's a very, very rare opportunity for most of you. And after that, we will start our on-campus module, which is the summer program, which we were all talking about on the 18th of May until the June 17th. So all of you are requested to come to the campus on the May 17th itself, so that we can start the program on the morning of May 18th. And then this will be followed by an off-campus program where you will be mentored online. So there will be a continuous mentoring for another 11 months. So that is something which is a unique feature of this program, so that you will be interacting with the course faculty, and you will be sort of still, I think, interested in pursuing the science and mathematics. So we'll make sure that that interest is on. So and also, as I said, it's an amazing opportunity for students coming from any part of the country, from any socioeconomic background, because it's a 100% scholarship program. So you really don't have to spend any money for that. So we are covering your course fees, your travel, and your study materials, plus your boarding and lodging. So what we require from your side is just the interest to understand science and maths in a better way. So with that, I end my presentation here, and I let Gaurav take over to explain a bit about the different modules. Over to you, Gaurav.
Okay, thank you, Ambika. I just wanted to ask the attendees, if they can answer some questions. I just want to ask a couple of questions, and can you just answer in the chat? Just put the answer for everybody. So the first question is, are you a principal or an administrator or a parent or a student? Can you just write what you are in the chat, please? I'm watching the chat. So can people write in the chat, or they have to write in the Q&A?
Once again, there is a chat option.
Yeah. But I think
The
people
Q&A
Chat is
ideally for
disabled,
questions.
but just write it in the Q&A. The chat may be disabled for the web participants.
Okay, I see that.
Please write in the Q&A.
Okay, fantastic. So I see a lot of students. One student is called anonymous attendee, and okay, student, teacher, student, very good. Parents and students together. Sorry, the chat is disabled, it looks like, but keep writing in the Q&A. Okay, so mostly I see only students, and some parents are also there. Okay, so thank you very much. The next thing I want to ask the students here, just a simple question, very simple, yes or no answer. Are you really good at math?
Yeah, by the way, it doesn't matter whether you're good or not, but Gaurav just needs to know the answer to get an idea about
What
the
do you
background.
think? I want to know
what you think about yourself.
Yes, very good. Yes. Okay, keep going. Very good. Okay, now I want to ask you another question. Would you like to meet Nobel laureates and Fields medalists? Would you like to chat with them? And here parents can also answer, you know. Big yes. Very good. And would you, okay, last question. Would you really like to work with, scientists and do a project in science which is, just at the cutting edge of knowledge? So your own, I mean, not what you study, you're not studying science, but you're inventing science. You're trying to understand what's happening in the universe, or the universe of plants, or whatever. Yes or no? Somebody saying my parents would also like to join. Yeah. Sorry, you have to let go of your children, and it doesn't matter. All right, thank you very much. So yeah, I'm very happy to see the comments, because this is exactly for children and parents, your parents, that this program has been invented. The idea of the program was, it's to encourage, to show interested students. So interest and curiosity and capability, your own views are most important here. What you want to do, what you want to explore, what you want to think. And we wanted to give experience of working in the best labs of the world, and also meeting the best people, the best institutions, the best universities. There are great professors. We want you to meet those people at close hand, so that you get the opportunity to do so every summer. and we wanted to make sure that you get you wanted to make sure that you get an opportunity to learn from the real experts how to think about really tough problem solving. So what we have got for you, the faculty are world-class scientists. There is a great idea seminar where you get an opportunity to hear about how science developed or how scientific or mathematical ideas are developed by the greatest scientists and mathematicians of this world. They will explain how it developed in the past and what they're doing right now, so that you get a sense of what this involves and whether it's something which you would like to do. Secondly, it gives you a hands-on experience of actually doing science, and you're seeing a real lab. You'll be allowed to explore, you'll be allowed to touch things, you'll be allowed to do things, and you will actually get a chance to present in a conference and act like a scientist. And not only a scientist, just act like a scientist, you'll be doing problems of real importance. So if some of them do good, you may end up writing a research paper in your school, and that would be fantastic. And the third thing is that in the math problem solving Olympiad, I should mention that the Olympiad, the International Math Olympiad, is the top level examination. Only 6 students are chosen in an Indian team. I mean, it's 6 students per country, and only about 25 to 30 or maybe 40, 50 students are trained by the Indian Math Olympiad Committee, and of which 6 people are chosen. And the same trainers are going to be here and training all of you who come into this program in problem solving in math. So you learn some tricks and techniques, and possibly it may bother your teachers a bit, because you may go on at a much faster rate than many of what's happening in the school. So it's the mathematicians who are coming in here are trainers in the Indian National Math Olympiad team, or they have actually undergone such training. And they are mathematicians and scientists who are teaching currently in Indian Institute of Technology, Indian Statistical Institute, the Jawaharlal Nehru University, the top institutions, and they have PhDs from all over the world. So you get an opportunity to learn from them the secrets of how to do better at problem solving. You will learn to work on a real science projects to see how really science happens. I mean, what happens in those labs. And you get an opportunity to do that, and also you get a chance to meet some great minds who will be here for the summer. So I think that if you're interested, as you're saying you are, it should be a great experience for you. Okay, so now maybe some questions and answers one can address.
So I should just add to Gaurav's and Ambika's presentation and conversation that we see your questions on the chat box, but also if you want to talk, raise your hand. And Ambika has given an email ID and the web portal. So if your questions cannot be answered, do send an email, and we will make sure that we answer them. Over to you all.
Okay, so I am answering some queries on the portal. So I'm just going to generalize some of the questions that we got from multiple people. So a lot of people are asking whether the students will have to stay on campus for this 4 weeks, and they have to skip schools if they are not on vacation for the schools. Yes, you will have to, and this is why we ask you for your principal and for your parents to approve of your presence on campus for this 4 weeks. So the dates will be the same. It will be from May 18th to June 17th, and you have to report on campus on May 17th, and this will not change. And there is another question where they are asking if the marks in the mark sheet uploaded are quite low, but they score well in the aptitude test, whether they will still be shortlisted. I think I let Gaurav or Vijay answer that question. Why we do the aptitude test and what is the logic?
This is not based on marks alone. The purpose of marks is to just see that you're comfortable in your school. Don't worry too much if they're, not the top of the class. There are many people who do reasonably well, who are very, very talented. So a combination of the maths and the aptitude test will be used. And the aptitude test, as Ambika pointed out, doesn't require any practice or training. There's questions about logic and creativity and understanding. So they're not, they can't be gamed by memorizing or practicing and so on. That's not the purpose. Gaurav?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we welcome everybody. Just try. Don't worry about it. The most important thing, even more than your principal thinking you're good, is that whether you think you're good, and whether your parents thinking you're interested. More important than that is, are you interested in knowing about the secrets of the universe? And if you are, then surely apply. Then we'll see.
Yeah, and the test is going to be, or the aptitude test is online. So as I said, you just need a laptop with a stable internet connection, or even the phone with a stable internet connection. So that's all you require. You don't have to travel anywhere. And there are some questions about the hospitality in Ashoka. And also, I think basically to know the stay at Ashoka. Gaurav, you want to sort of explain a bit about the campus?
Yeah, so we have a campus close to Delhi. It's in Sonipat, and there are hostels. And currently, when it's not summer break in the semester, around 2,000 students stay on the campus. So there is plenty of place. There's also a summer semester which happens. There's plenty of rooms available. There are wardens who look after overall the running of the campus. There is food. It's air conditioned, so it's comfortable to stay. Further, we will have a large number of so-called counselors who are your senior students who are possibly in Ashoka right now, who will guide you and help you in case you get into any trouble. There is an infirmary. There are sports facilities. It's very well appointed, and we will be able to handle any emergencies. We are very close to Delhi, and you'll be comfortable, and your children will be safe. And this campus has been live for many years now, and it's much loved by all the students and the faculty who are here. They really in fact, they don't want to go home. Most of the time, we have to say the parents are upset with students sometimes because they don't want to come home. They're so comfortable here.
Yeah, that is, I think, very reassuring, because I understand that is a concern for a lot of parents, whether it is okay, whether they will stay here. And we do have also a lot of counselors, other than the student counselors, professional counselors who will be on board to help you with any difficulty the child has, to talk to them and to make sure that they are comfortable in this 4 weeks. And I'm sure that most of the students will not even think about anything other than the maths and science. And that's, I think, the essence of the program. So moving on to the next point. So there is a representative from Akanksha Foundation here, and they do run a network of schools in Mumbai and Pune. So basically, they want to give this opportunity to students. And I'm sure that there might be many of you like that who are in touch with schools who are present here for the webinar. So please go ahead and popularize about this program to the students, because we really want everybody to participate in it. Of course, there is the intake of 100 students this year, but I think it is really worth giving a try and see if you can be in this top 100, because I think that is going to change the way they look at science and maths post attending the summer program. And of course, there's continued mentoring, so that also might help them to have a better future. So that is something I have to tell to all the people who are connected with the schools, other than the parents who are present here.